Chicago Bears Now is sponsored by HexClad. When you go to hexclad.com/chatsports, you're going to get 10% off at checkout of the best cooking products on the planet. Cooking utensils, I should say. Let me grab this bad boy. It comes in this nice cloth protector. Look at this pan, HexClad. Gordon Ramsay approved. Go check them out today. hexclad.com/chatsports. It is mock draft season, unfortunately, here on Chicago Bears Now. We made it 3 games, fellas, but when the Bears start 0-3 and they currently hold the number 1 and number 4 picks in the NFL draft for next year, yeah, we're going to start talking draft here on this channel. Now, as we sit right now, here is the 2024 NFL draft order. Bears have the number 1 pick. There are 4 0-3 teams. The reason they have the number 1 pick right now is they have the worst strength of schedule, which makes matters even worse. Not only are you 0-3, among the 0-3 teams, you've played the weakest schedule, even though you went to Arrowhead, so a bit misleading. Number 2 is the Denver Broncos. Number 3 pick is the Minnesota Vikings. Number 4 is also the Bears via Carolina, who's 0-3. Remember, the Bears have the Panthers pick there. Number 5 is Cincinnati Bengals. They're 0-2, and that's the note I want to make here. I'm filming this Monday afternoon before the Monday Night Football doubleheader, so that is a distinction there. If the Bengals lose to fall to 0-3, I believe they would actually be the 4th pick, and the Bears' 2nd pick would drop to 5, although I'm not 100% sure. It depends on the strength of schedule stuff, but that's where it sits as of filming. Number 4, number 5 pick doesn't really make a huge difference. We know for sure the Bears would have the number 1 pick regardless, so that's where we'll start. All right, here's my Bears mock draft. We'll focus more on the early round picks. Caleb Williams, quarterback out of USC. The bottom line is if you get the number 1 pick, you're going to have to take Caleb Williams. We can talk about Justin Fields in a moment, but you look at what this guy has done since he stepped onto the college campus. And what's crazy is a true freshman at Oklahoma. Did not play his senior year in high school due to COVID. Their season got canceled. He stepped in for Spencer Rattler in the middle of the Red River rivalry game against Texas, led a monster comeback, never looked back, played awesome that year as a freshman. His sophomore year follows Lincoln Riley, his Oklahoma head coach, who took the USC job, follows him to the West Coast, has an unreal year, wins a Heisman Trophy. And then this year, he's playing even better. His completion percentage has jumped 8 points. He's got 1,200 yards. And by the way, he's getting pulled in like the 3rd, 4th quarter a lot of these games. 15 touchdowns, no interceptions. Quick math, 57 plus 21. 78 touchdowns to 9 picks in his college career. That's pretty good, and he's a pretty good runner as well. We should mention that. If you get the number 1 pick, you draft Caleb Williams. I like Justin Fields. I've defended Justin Fields. I still think he's very talented and with the right coaching can be a starting quarterback in this league. But the bottom line is if you get the number 1 pick, and especially if you have 2 top 5, top 10 picks, Fields probably didn't play well enough this year. I just don't think you can pass on Caleb Williams if that opportunity is on the table. So what say you? Should the Bears draft Caleb Williams if they get the number 1 pick, or should they trade it, pass on him? What do you guys think? Type D for draft or P for pass. As much as it would hurt to move on from Justin Fields, it almost feels like it would be fate, right? Like you traded the number 1 pick last year, somehow you get it again. That's a sign that you should probably draft a quarterback, and the best one this year is Caleb Williams. Ah, yes. I'm completing the combination. Round 1, pick number 4, Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, I certainly had some debate here. Jared Verse was off the board. He went number 3. It was either Marvin Harrison or Olu Fashanu. In this case, I went with Marvin. You could certainly go with the Penn State left tackle. You could talk me into that as well. I'd be cool either way. But this combination would be fascinating, and Marvin Harrison is just a stud. I mean, he had an awesome year last year, best receiver in college football as a sophomore when he had almost 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. This year, he's off to a pretty good start as well. Got a little nicked up in that Notre Dame game, but I don't think it's considered serious. And this combination would be unbelievable. Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., you'd still have DJ Moore, so regardless, whoever's your 1, whoever's your 2, it doesn't matter. I think long-term MHJ would be. But what makes Marvin Harrison so unique is at 6'4", he is incredibly fast. I think he clocked 21, 22 miles per hour in a game earlier this year. He's got great straight line speed. He can beat you over the top. He can go over the middle. He's got the full route tree, and no surprise, his pops is pretty good as well, running routes for the Indianapolis Colts back in the day. So you'd be cooking with this combination. And speaking of cooking, if you want to cook gas, fire, the best food out there, revolutionary cookware can be found with HexClad. I mean, look at this beauty. It's just a rock-solid pan here. I've been using these pots and pans for months now, and you guys should as well, because HexClad has revolutionized the cookware industry with a hybrid pan that gives you all the convenience and cleanup of nonstick, the versatility of your grandma's cast iron, and a lifetime warranty just in case you find a way to destroy them, which don't know how you would. They're rock solid. Go to hexclad.com/chatsports for 10% off right now. HexClad truly checks every single box when it comes to picking your cookware. They are metal utensil safe, dishwasher safe, and oven safe up to 500 degrees. You're trying to get that big sear on that steak, you can crank up the heat. HexClad can handle it. Don't just take my word for it, by the way. Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay uses them as well. He has signed off on HexClad products, and he's a big fan as well. Here's a direct quote from him. He says, "The sear I can get with these pans is incredible, with absolutely no stick. The temperature control is utter perfection, and the cleanup is effortless. I love using HexClad at home." I do too, Mr. Ramsay. They're also sexy pans. Not only do they work good, they look good as well. Score points at home. Stop ordering delivery food. Start cooking like a big boy with HexClad. Real cuisine isn't made in the microwave. It's cooked in a HexClad pot or pan. So for a limited time only, get 10% off at hexclad.com/chatsports. It's hexclad.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and in the description, hexclad.com/chatsports. All right, hopping into the second round here, round 2, pick number 37. It's Cooper Beebe, the offensive lineman out of Kansas State. He's got guard tackle versatility, and I'm a big fan of his game. I think he's really, really good because he's played all offensive line positions for the Wildcats except for center, which that's okay. I know we still need center, but if you have a guy that can play guard or tackle, well, that gives you options when you enter the offseason, right? Because obviously right now, Braxton Jones is on IR, but if you have a combination of Braxton Jones, Darnell Wright, and Cooper Beebe, you can kick one inside. Obviously, Darnell Wright, you're going to keep it tackle, but maybe Beebe kicks inside. Maybe you try Braxton Jones at tackle or at guard if you want to play Beebe at left tackle. But you have to consider, too, that Teven Jenkins, as good as he is, his future is in doubt. So a guy like Cooper Beebe could be a guy that plugs in. And by the way, I think I misspoke. It would be the number 33 pick because the Bears obviously have the number 1 pick. That's a typo on my part. Number 33, not number 37. Regardless, that's the range where BB could go. He's your left guard. Maybe you move on from Teven Jenkins, or maybe Nate Davis isn't in the fold next year. Who knows? But the bottom line is you got to get better in the trenches, and a guy like BB with his versatility and power is certainly a player that could do just that. Now, I just mentioned the trenches. It's been a problem. What's the bigger issue? The offensive line or defensive line? I think it's actually the defensive line, which is kind of hard to believe. But both are an issue, and I think if you're drafting Caleb Williams, you certainly want to protect them. So let us know, O-line or D-line, when it comes to the Chicago Bears. We'll fix this one on the fly as well. Sedrick Van Pran, round 3, pick number, I believe it would be 65. The mock draft simulator had a couple of odd numbers beyond the first round. They're fixing their stuff. We're fixing our stuff. So 65 here for Van Pran. Obviously, after the third round, we don't know the exact numbers because of comp picks. That'll be factored in. So kind of consider this more as a range once you get beyond this point. The center out of Georgia. First of all, if he's here at the top of the third round, that is great value. I think he's probably a second-round guy. But again, the simulators, it's kind of all over the place right now. But I still went ahead and win with it because there's a scenario where he could dip a bit. Stop ignoring the center position, please. Sam Mustipher started for multiple years here. And I know he's filling in nicely in Baltimore, but, that was ridiculous. Cody Whitehair, trying to move him back this offseason. He's already back at left guard because he had a hand issue. He doesn't look like the same player just regardless of where he's playing. Lucas Patrick, that has not worked out very well at all. Doug Kramer, I think, could be a backup, but he's not an answer. You traded for Dan Feeney. You don't even play the guy. I don't think he's your future. No more Band-Aid centers. No more. Draft one. If you're not going to draft one, sign a proven guy to a multi-year deal. Not Lucas Patrick, a guy who has started for several years into this league and played well. I haven't looked at the free agent list yet, but you've got to get a real center in here. I mean, they just refuse to address this position. makes no sense whatsoever. And I think it's had a major impact on Justin Fields, too. He's always working with different guys. So you got to get someone in here that can be a steady guy. I mean, I was interested in John Michael Schmitz. You had a chance to take him. By the way, he's playing really well for the Giants. So I think that's just an area you can't ignore moving forward. If you want more Bears mock drafts, subscribe to the channel today. Let us know. It's your call. If we get a lot of new subscribers, we'll keep cranking out mock drafts. If not, we'll pick and choose when we do them. But if you guys are a fan of our draft videos and want more mock drafts, let us know in the comments, and also let us know by subscribing if you haven't already. Okay, Dontay Corleone, the defensive lineman out of Cincinnati. I think he is probably a 3-tech in the NFL, which you certainly need. He's like 6'2", 300, 305. A little undersized on the height, but he's been pretty productive. I think he's a guy, 3rd, 4th round. You get him here in the 4th round. This is your 4th-round pick via the Philadelphia Eagles from the Darnell Wright trade down last year. Rod Moore, the safety out of Michigan. Listen, we don't know what Eddie Jackson's future is. He has 1 year left on his contract. I think he's going to be 30 next year. The injuries are starting to pile up a little bit. Rod Moore's a ball hawk. He had 4 picks last year. Doesn't have one yet this year, but I think he's either a free safety or a nickel in the NFL. He's a little thin on the frame, so that concerns me a little bit at the safety position. So we'll see what he's able to weigh in, assuming he does turn pro. But I love the ball skills there. Really good athlete as well. And then how about Shemar Turner? Huge recruit a couple of years ago. Started pretty slow at Texas A&M, but he's playing well this year. I think he's got 3 sacks already. He's kind of a tweener. He's like 280, 285. I think he could play some 3-tech, could play some edge. Obviously, we'll see what the scheme is for the Bears next year. If Flus is here, we know it's going to be that 4-3. If not, maybe they shift back to a 3-4. Who knows? It'll depend on the coach, the defensive coordinator / head coach they hire. But he's going to be good. I think he's a guy that could be a fast riser in the NFL draft. I get him here in the 5th round. And reminder, right now you don't have a 6th-round pick. You don't have a 7th-round pick because you traded that 6th-round pick for Dan Feeney. And the 7th might be for the N'Keal Harry move last year. I'm not sure why. I'd have to go back and double check, but no 7th-round pick as of now, but a lot of capital in the first several rounds, so still plenty of damage that can be done if you are Ryan Poles. Have you given up on Justin Fields? Because obviously in this mock draft, I take Caleb Williams. That's not even as much as a give up on my part. It's more of just you can't pass on that opportunity. Like, if you get the number 1 pick, that almost certainly signals that you have not gotten enough production from Fields. So I think you have to take Caleb Williams in that scenario. But my answer is I have not given up on him, at least not yet. But I have to be realistic. If this continues to trend in this direction, there's a good chance you're drafting a quarterback, and especially if you get the number 1 pick. So why for yes and for no? Let me know if you have given up on Justin Fields. All right, guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if you want more mock drafts, we will have you covered here on the channel. Hit me up on Twitter as well. DMs are open. We can always talk ball over there. It's at HGramNFL, at HGramNFL over on Twitter.